Yeah, so I'm sitting here tripping, kind of. Like, I tripped off this before, so, it's kind of not new, but I have to keep revisiting it with myself. So, just trying to figure out how to get through this life. Okay, so whenever I come to the conclusion of how to get through this life, the answer is just like weird to me, but it's like the right answer. If I look at this life like it's a game, then it makes more sense. But it's so real that it doesn't seem like a game because when we think of games in life, we look at it like we're playing a game and the game is not real. But when we play the game, we use all of our faculties and our senses and our mind and our strategy and all this to play the game, beat the game, win the game, whatever. But then when it comes to life, it's a little bit different. We don't play it the same way. So if we really are living in a matrix and it really is an illusion, you guys have to think about that for a second and what that really means. And we've never heard this in our whole entire lives. We've never been taught this and never told this. But we play games all the time. And the goal has been, in life, for people that make games, they want to make them more and more real all the time. And then we who play games, we want them to be more and more real all the time. So like when they first made the game Sims, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is so cool because it's kind of real life, you know?" And it's like, yeah, it is kind of real life because they based it on like our life, which is weird because our life is really a game, like The Sims. And if you don't know that, and if you never get that, then you stay stuck, like straight up stuck, which is crazy. Because what? What? So I was thinking about how, like, my son, he has tons of games, but he always loves to play Assassin's Creed. And each time he would get like a new version, he would be like, "Mom, look, it's more realistic." And I'd be like, "Ooh, this show is realistic. Who is that man? He kind of fine." What? Like my head was like, "Ooh, he kind of fine." Wait, this is like a game player person, but he does look more real, muscles and the hair and the everything, right? So it's like the more real, the better. And it's like we wanted to get so real to where it's like virtual reality, with the goggles and on and on and on. We want it to be like 3D hologram type stuff. We walk in it and blah blah blah. So it's like you gotta stop and think about that. You gotta stop and think about that. If I stepped into the Assassin's Creed game, and it look all real, and I see the dude, and I'm like, "Hey, guess what? You're in a game, and this ain't real." He would be like, "What?" He probably was trying to kill me, all up in my throat, right? And I would be like, "Nah, for real though, this is a game. Like everything you see, all this stuff, the little mountains, the little, how you jump off the mountain and fly and stuff, that ain't real. It's not real." He would be like, excuse me. He'd be like, "Look, I can punch. Look, I can kick. Look, I can eat if I want to." And it's like, "Nope, that ain't real food. Nope, it's just zeros and ones. It's not real, buddy." He would not believe me because he could go and do all the things that he thinks that he wants to do, that he's programmed to do. And I would be like, "Well, guess what? If I step out this game and I turn it off, finito, benito, you won't be doing this." And he would be like, "You lie." And I would be like, "No, I'm not lying." He'd be like, "You lie." And I'd be like, "No, I'm not lying." I could spend hours and hours turning on that game, going inside the game, trying to convince him. He would never damn believe me. I could leave out of the game and turn it off and whatever, or leave out of the game and do whatever. But for some reason, I would be compelled to go back in there to be like, "I'm serious." Why? I mean, why? So it's like the same thing. Because like when I wake up every day, I'm like, why am I waking up doing this? And I know that it's a game. What is it that's making me want to play this game? Because the whole time I'm in the game, I'm like, I gotta fucking get out of here. I got to get the hell out of here. I hate this. This is stupid. And it's because of not understanding that point. that it is a game and you have to play it a certain way. There's bosses. There's like levels. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm starting to look at money right now as credits. Because when I look at it as credits, it's a whole different meaning to me than money. Because money, I feel like, shit. But credits, I'm like, ooh, how can I get some credits? You know, because in games, there's many things you do to get credits. You just look at it different. And like, things that you pick up to use in games. You know, things you pick up. Ooh, I can use this hammer for later. Ooh, I can, you know, you just look at things a totally different way when you're in a game. But then, like now, we don't look at it like that at all. Things have different meanings, they have different values. Stuff drives us nuts, you know, and it's like, oh, I can't get it, I can't get it, I can't get it. Well, that's because you're not playing by the rules of the game. You know, you are here with a skill set. Yeah, some people come, wake up with way more of this or way more of that. Some people wake up with way less that. But I think about like when I would go to the arcade, to Dave and Buster's, and play. I had certain games I love to play, like Daytona 500. Ugh, I'm like a beast on that. But I would pick different kind of cars. Ooh, what's that other one? Arctic Blast. Oh, that was my jam. But I would pick different characters that had different skill sets. I would pick different bikes, different skis. What is it? Ski bikes, whatever those things were. Are I would pick different ones that have different handling, different speed, different capacity. I would pick different tracks. You know, the difficult ones, the easy ones, whatever. And it's crazy. It just depended on what I felt like. And sometimes I would pick the most difficult bike and the most difficult track and would be just driving and hollering the whole time. And then when I would finish, I would be cracking up like, ooh, that was fun. So when I'm here and I wake up every day and I'm like, why do I have all these talents and I'm not using them? Why do I have all these skills and I don't understand. It's like, what am I doing here? Why am I unhappy? Why am I sad? Why am I always trying to get the hell out of here? What is going on? It's like, what? So it's like once you realize this, it's like, oh, amazing. But then it's like you wake up and you just get distracted by all the stuff that goes on. You like immediately forget. Just like the dude would be in Assassin's Creed. Every day when you turn that game on and he's flipping and flying through the streets and axing people, you know, he's never thinking, I'm a character in a video game. He's never thinking that. He's just doing whatever level you turned it on to be, what he's programmed to be. So imagine if he became really conscious, like, oh shit, I am in a game. How do I get out of this? That's like the first immediate thing. Like everybody would think, wait a minute, how do I get out of this? Mm-hmm. 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 Exactly. Because you realize you're boxed. You're trapped. You don't have your free will and thoughts, and whatever you thought you was doing was maybe under control of somebody else, maybe somebody else's program. And it's like, damn, what? Hold up. Right, right. So with the skill set that those people have in the games, I might be trying to keep them in that game too. Like, no, you can't get out. Nope, you're gonna be jumping and flipping and cutting and shooting arrows and nope. Golly, that's crazy. That's so crazy sounding, but that's true and that's what it is. So applying that to the life that we live in now, I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. But yeah, that's what it is. And my goal is I have to remember that every day when I wake up from now on. I got to remember that every day. It's a game. That's why some people are winning more. Like, for real. That's why. And it ain't like because they're better or anything or look better or just stronger or whatever. Some of the most whack people are doing great in the game of life. And you have to wonder, why is that? Getting past the point of, yeah, we do live in a matrix. What does that actually mean? What does it actually mean? really means is like you living a live, like a live video game, and you're really not living in a live video game. You playing it, but it's so real. It's so amazing that you can't tell. But isn't that what developers are trying to do with the video games now? Make them so real that you can't tell. Even with the virtual reality, and putting them on the goggles on and like all that stuff. It's crazy. It's like trying to make holodecks in life. It's like, how many times do we do that? Because then, like I guess that's like them making AIs. And the AIs being so smart, all of a sudden they're like, hold up, stupid humans are trying to ask us. And then they'll get smart enough to make some little AI copies that are whatever. And then those are going to get smart enough to be like, hold up, stupid AIs, kill the stupid humans. It's like, where does it end? Which is not the point. The point is reversing it. This is where we are now, and that's what it is. And it's just so real and so unbelievable that people will never believe that stuff. But the components of it, you just can't tell nobody different. I mean, so now I understand in my head why it's difficult for people to get these out of this world new realities that we're realizing. You've been playing this game and thinking that certain things have been real your whole life, and then you realize, somebody tells you it's not, and even gives you proof that it's not. Now I see why. Go in the Assassin's Creed game and try to convince them that he's not real, and see what happens. I know that sounds so far off and so whack, but that's my new way to like deal with it. So every day I wake up, it's gonna be like, okay, how do I beat this game? How do I win this game? Because I want to win it and walk out like a boss. Like at the end of Super Mario Brothers, when I beat that last boss, man, you know how many levels that was? I was using cheat codes and all kind of stuff. But when you do it that way versus just turning off the game and be like, get the damn wait like on Boondocks, the game cheat. The game ain't cheat, It's like, so what? Wow. And I've come to this realization before, and I was just like, I couldn't, what? But now it's like, so the fact that you can never really die and nothing can ever really hurt you because you are your higher self is you playing this game. So I understand about in games when you dying and restarting and starting over and new characters and all of that. It's like, damn, that's the same thing. That's crazy to know that that's like a real thing. But I mean, it is a real thing. And that's like the coolest thing ever. And I think that my soul realized, and probably a lot of people's soul realized, that when they're doing this game thing, the waking up part is going to be like very cool, even though they won't realize it. But it's going to be very cool. But nobody said waking up was going to be easy. Leveling up. I mean, you got to die a bunch of times in games. You got to lose some stuff. Sometimes you lose all your stuff. You be on your last life. And sometimes you be like, get and hit the reset, but I mean, all kinds of stuff, So, I mean, when you start thinking about it like that, it's like, hold up. I'm getting mad for nothing about some stuff. I'm still get mad about some stuff. But it's like, hold up. Hold up. You know? So I had to make myself a video so I won't forget. I think I might have made myself a video before, but I forgot. What? But this time I'm going to post it, and that way I can always remember that. Yeah, remember you made a video about that. So, yeah. Is that crazy? Yeah, it is. but it's crazy amazing. Right.